Hello and welcome to this Prepare for IELTS Speaking Part 1 video. In this video we'll look at memory. So these are the kinds of questions they might ask you about memory. If you have a memory like a sieve, you forget everything. In the image you can see a sieve. It's a kitchen utensil that we use for sieving flour. It puts air into the flour and removes the lumps, so it's important to sieve the flour when you're making cakes. I have a memory like a sieve. Sadly, unfortunately. If you have a photographic memory, it means you have the ability to remember things in great detail, like a photograph. It takes me a while means it takes me a long time. To learn something by heart means to memorize, so you know it word for word. Are you good at memorizing things? Not really. I have a memory like a sieve. Sadly, I don't have a photographic memory, so it takes me a while to learn something by heart. Mortified. If you are mortified, you are very, very, very embarrassed. Snowed under with, very busy. If something slips your mind, you forget it. Have you ever forgotten something important? Oh my goodness, yes. A few weeks ago, I forgot my best friend's birthday. I was mortified when I realised a few days later. I'm just so snowed under with work at the moment that it completely slipped my mind. A multitude of. This is a good way of saying lots of. The major reason. The main reason. We are juggling so many things. If you look at the picture, this woman is juggling so many things. It means we're doing so many things. Private lives, our personal life outside of work. To recall is a useful verb, and it means to remember. Why do people often forget things? A multitude of reasons. But I guess the major reason nowadays is that we are juggling so many things in our work or study and private lives that it's impossible to remember or recall everything. I tend to means usually. We use it with the infinitive. I tend to remember. To make a note of something means to write it down. To set reminders is to set an alarm. And such like, etc. Other similar things. How can you make sure you don't forget things? What works best for me is writing things down. I tend to remember things better when I have made a note of them. I also set reminders or alarms for things like appointments, deadlines, and such like. To remind means having a written or spoken message that tells someone to do something. 24/7, all the time. They're really handy. They're really useful. Why do people use mobile phones to remember things? Mobile phones are incredibly useful because you can set alarms in your phone to remind you to do things. People tend to have their phones with them 24/7, so they're like a personal assistant. They're really handy. Okay, let's see what you can remember. Which phrase means it takes me a long time. It takes me a while. Which phrase means to memorize something. To learn it by heart. Which phrase means to forget a lot of things. I have a memory like a sieve. How can we say we are busy doing many things? We are juggling many things. How can we say the main or most important reason? The major reason. How can we say very embarrassed? Mortified. How can we say many reasons? A multitude of reasons. How can we say the ability to remember things in great detail, like a photograph? A photographic memory. How can we say unfortunately? Sadly. How can we say to write something down? To make a note of something. And finally, how can we say to remember? To recall.